All right. Okay. So, um, yeah, I'm recording this now. This will be a YouTube video, but this is also live in class. So we'll see how this goes. This is the most pressure I've ever had whilst recording something. Anyways, so we're gonna go over how to do the cylindrical samples like this. So I'm gonna have the this part open so I can basically see all the different sketches that I'm gonna need to do. Okay, so this will be the first one we do. So it looks like 375 there, 1 inch, an eighth of an inch, uh 253. What is that one? Uh 252. Oh, okay. I guess that's because I did the radius. Oh no, I set that at 0.2525. Okay. So, because I think it's just a little bit more than that half inch. Okay. So, so now we'll exit out of that sketch. Okay, let's go file new. Okay, we're gonna go okay there. Making a part. Okay, so on the front plane here, we're gonna make a sketch. Okay, start with our line tool. So we, come on, grab the line tool. There we go. And now we're gonna start our line tool at the origin. We're gonna go up from the origin vertically, and you can get our vertical line icon on there. Going horizontally, horizontal line icon. Now from here, I'm gonna do a little fillet. So I come back to the point, drag it down, and yep, there we go. It's making our arc. Okay. Now I'm going to click down, come out to the side. Okay. Come horizontal. And then I'm going to come down like this. And I'm going to actually go over to the origin, but I'm not going to click down on it. I'm just going to come back from it. So it gives me that blue dotted line. All right, cool. We got the blue dotted line, and we have a vertical line with the correct indications. Okay. And then we're going to come all the way back. All right, so that's cool. So now it's time to put on some dimensions. So I'm going to go shift click there and there, and we're going to make that tangent. All right. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to make that 0.375, 0.375. Come on. My laptop is not plugged in right now, which makes it a little bit slow. And then I think this was 2.5. But I might have to change that 2.5. Okay. Then I think this dimension was 1 inch. Okay. 1 inch. Oh, that makes it look a little screwier. And then this is going to be 0.2525. Let it load 0.2525. Okay. I don't like the way it did that. So let's delete that. It kind of screwed us up a little bit there. So sorry, we deleted the arc. Now we could just drag this guy over here. And I'm gonna go from, all right, I'll do tangent arc going from there to there. All right. And then we're gonna just quickly make this guy 0.125, 0.125. Okay, cool. And as you can see, we are now fully defined. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to exit the sketch. We're going to revolve this guy around this bottom line. So we're going to go features, revolve boss base, and then we're going to collect. We're going to select this bottom line. And as you can see, it wraps it around. Okay. So now, what's the next step? So we'll check our cheat sheet. All right, there we go. So we have it doing the revolve. then it does the helix, then it does the mirror. Okay. So let's do that. Oh, let's double check also. So 2.25. Oh, I made that 2.5, so we'll change that. And I think everything else is fine. So, yep, let's go back to our other one. So let's make that. I think I made it 2.5, so we got to change that. Yep, 2.25. There we go. Okay, perfect. Gonna click check on that. Uh, and yep, great. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're gonna go, let's mirror it first. So I guess we could do that. So we're gonna go to mirror. Yeah, we're gonna mirror it about there. And we're gonna features to mirror. We're gonna mirror the revolve. Okay. And as you can see, it's previewing the part over there, and it should be making it. Okay. Um, Let me just double check if that is the correct way to do it. What did I do here? Did I do the chamfer first? Oh no, I just did a separate mirror. Okay. Anyways, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. I'm just trying to do it relatively similar to the way I did it before. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create our helix. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go up to feet to curves, and then we can do helix and spiral. Okay, then I'm going to click the face of that guy there. Okay, and then we're just going to very simply draw a circle. So I can just draw a circle, and then I'm going to hit escape from the circle tool, and I'm going to click the circle that I just made and shift click the outer edge of the part, and we're going to make both of those equal. All right, and so now we should have a fully defined line that is black. All right, good. Now we're going to exit the sketch, okay, and it should start to make the helix. There we go. So we're going to make it go the other way. Looks like it's going clockwise, so that's good. We're gonna make this 0.1, okay? And then the revolutions we're gonna do 50 to just make it go a little bit past the part. Okay? So there we go. We have that. Okay, great. And it looks like it starts right at the top. That's perfect. So now we're gonna grab the front plane, I think. Do I want to grab the front plane? Yes, I do. Oh, but you know what? I want to change the helix to start at a different angle. Start angle, we're going to make that 0. Oh wait, no. 180. Okay, there we go. That way it just starts right at the dead top in the center. Okay, cool. So now let's go back and put a sketch again on the front plane because that's where our helix goes to. So I'm going to right click the front plane. I'm going to go to sketch. Okay, great. And now we're again going to use our origin. So we're going to go and grab the center line. We're going to go start at the origin. Going to go vertically, making sure that we have come on, our handy icon. Okay. Then we're going to come up over here and we're going to make a triangle. Okay. I'm going to actually shift click these last 3 points. Okay, we're going to make them all solid lines. So we'll uncheck for construction. And then we're going to go up here and add some relations. So we're going to make this guy. Okay, great. That is vertical. And we're going to make these two guys. Oh, not that one. Going to make that one and that one. We're gonna make both of those equal, making it an isosceles triangle. And then I think I made this one Yeah, I think the length here was 0.115. Okay, so it ends up being like a little bit bigger than the like uh than the helix step over. And that's good. We kind of want to cut a little bit more thread than we would normally want to. Then I'm going to dimension from there to there. Hopefully it does it. There we go. And we're going to make this one 0.07. And check that off. Okay, cool. Whoops. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so now the last thing we need to do in this sketch is very simply just add a relation that makes that point, shift click the surface of the part. Uh, oh, I know why. We're gonna have to put a point on the part, so I'm gonna go there, put a point on it. Okay, hit escape from the point tool, grab the edge of the triangle, shift click to the point, shift click both of those. Yep. And then I make them coincident. Great. And as you can see now, we have a fully defined line, um, all black and everything like that should be good. Okay. So we're going to hit exit sketch there. Now we're going to go to swept cut. And then we have the triangle selected. And now we'll select the path. So we have the profile and the path. Great, cool. So that's what it should look like. All right, cool. So that looks pretty good. And we could even see that uh yeah, it looks like it'll cut it. Yeah, it looks like it'll cut it just fine. One more micro step we're gonna do, and that would be to make a little fillet on the or a chamfer, I guess I should say, on the edges. Okay. So we'll do another thing there. So let me just make sure I get the geometry for that one correct to what I had said before on my other file. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So there's that revolve cut. And I made it 0.375 and then one over. Okay, and that's because it's a right triangle with equal legs. Okay, so let's go make that. So we'll go again to part 7, which is the current one we're making. And let's go back to the front plane. We're going to sketch on that front plane and we're going to come up making a square there or a triangle there. Coming over there, making our right triangle. Okay. Uh, and yeah, so we can make this one. Okay. Smart dimension. Make this one. Come on. Come on. Point one. I think it's really slow without a charger. Come on, make it point one. Point one. Hold on. Let me plug this in really quick. I need to edit the video. All right. There we go. Finally, we're plugged in. Hopefully that makes things a little quicker. So let's do point one. Much faster. And then we're gonna just make, yeah, let's smart dimension this guy and that guy. We'll make that 90 degrees. Okay. And then we'll also make this guy to that guy 45. Okay, looking good. And then we will also make this guy 0.375 because that's half of 3/4, and this is a 3/4 10 bolt. Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna make that line for construction, and then I'm just gonna draw another line quickly from there to there. That's solid. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that is so that it only cuts what's in the triangle and it doesn't try and make a thin feature or anything. So we're gonna exit that sketch. We're then gonna go. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want a swept cut. I want a revolved cut. Don't want it about there. So I want it. Let's see. Can I select that? No. Oh, crap. Gotta try that again. Okay. So let's go back to sketch four. Um, Come on. I want to edit you. Okay. And then, sorry, I forgot to make another center line that we can revolve it around. So we're just going to make a center line there. And that's all we really need to do. So we're going to go escape, going to go revolve cut. We're going to go, uh, oh, yeah, that guy. Cool. And yeah, that looks good. And then, all right, great. So that's a nice little fillet. That'll make it easier for us to thread it into the feature, the fixture, I should say. Um, and then now, annoyingly, the banner. Can I move this banner? Yes, I can. Yay. Sorry, moving the zoom banner. I can now go to reference geometry plane. We're going to create a mid plane. So we're going to go from that face and that face. Okay, and that's made a mid plane right smack dab in the middle of the part. And then we're going to mirror the sorry, features to mirror. We're gonna mirror that cut revolve. Looks like it's previewing it for us. Looks like that'll work out. Beautiful. Cool. And now I could hide all the other nonsense and we have our part there. Okay, so we could save that. I'm gonna save it as underscore 2. Okay. And then you could save this as an STL. Okay, so yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that file save as. We're going to save this as an STL. Yep. Doing that. Yep. And then let's open up Cura. All right. Hopefully, I think this is still sharing this screen. I really hope it is. Anyways, we're going to go to File, Open, and now we're going to grab that Tensile for, yep, that guy. And then now we're actually going to take that one. We're going to go Control C and Control V. All right. So now we put those two right next to each other. Now we need to add support blockers. Okay, but the support blockers aren't actually going to block support. It is very simply going to block certain features like really we're just going to make the ends solid infill. Okay, so I'm going to click one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. Grab the support blocker, click that there. Whoa. It made kind of a big square. Okay, that's good. So we're going to grab that one. Oh, it made it really high up there. Interesting. So now we could grab it. Oh, why did it not grab it? I guess it got rid of it. Sorry. Let's try that one more time. Support blocker. Put one there. Sorry. Make sure that it's selected. Should be able to put one there. Why does it do that? Puts it in such a weird spot. Um, so we're gonna grab that guy. We're gonna move it over. Gonna move it down to the build plate. Okay, something like that. Move it over. Okay, there we go. Ah, still too high. Still too high. Let's keep going. They're coming over there like that. Okay. And even though I have this doing the drop down model, it looks like it's still not quite doing it. Okay. Anyways, we have that. We're going to make it bigger. Okay. And then let's take off uniform scaling. stretch it out that way a little bit. Um, we're gonna scoot that guy over there like that. And you could, it doesn't really matter exactly where this ends. Really, I'm just making the ends here solid so that it doesn't break. But what we were finding before is it's kind of nice that um it doesn't break off into the fixture. So making a little bit of this cylindrical portion solid is gonna be, I think, helpful. So, anyways, doing that eraser, let's try and control C, control V that eraser. Excellent. So that's the correct size now. We're going to scoot it up, scoot it over. Okay, making sure that it overlaps correctly. Okay, we just want to make sure it's somewhere in there. And that one too, we can make sure that it's somewhere in there. Okay, cool. So now we have two parts with our support blocker things. Okay, let's take a look at those. So really with those, um, let's click that guy. So right now it's doing overlaps of this model will not be supported. Okay. Now I kind of don't like how it calls the tool support blocker. What I think it should be called is settings blocker. But anyways, we're gonna go here and we're gonna modify the settings for overlap. We're not gonna really change any of those. We're gonna go to select settings and we're gonna go to let's go to infill density. So I'm going to click infill density and then go to close. And then on this little menu down here, it'll show infill density. So I'm going to change that infill density to 100. Okay. And then I'm going to yeah, then that's okay. So you can see I've made that modification. There's that 8 there that shows me I made that modification. We're going to do the same thing to that other support blocker. We're going to all go again, have to go to the select settings. We're going to have to go down to, let's type in infill density. All right. And we're also going to make that one 100. Okay, cool. So now we have this set up as like a base. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and we're going to shift click all of those guys. Okay. And we're going to go control C, control V. Ah, that's really frustrating how it moves them all over the place. Okay. Anyways, let's delete that. Let's bring that guy over here like that. Something like that. Something like that. Hopefully they stay relatively lined up. Okay. That's actually looking pretty good. So now let's shift click those 4 things. So the 2 blockers plus those parts that we just copied. And let's rotate these. So 2 of these samples, gotta move it around still. 2 of these samples are going to be vertical. 2 of them are going to be horizontal. And then 2 of them are going to be at a 45. Okay, so I'm just going to scoot that support blocker back over. And then that should be good, but I want, why is this not dropping the model down? Uh, oh, Control Z, Control Z. Why is it not dropping the model down? Why is it not doing that? Anyways, let's try, I guess you just have to set it manually. That's pretty annoying. All right, so just positioning them, I guess, like that should work. I really don't know why it's not putting the models down on the bottom. But okay, cool. So those are our vertical pieces. They look pretty good. So let's do Control V once more. Okay, great. Oh, let's actually just do Control, so shift click both of those. Let's do Control C and then Control V. Okay, it looks like it got one of the support things with it. So let's just, all right, so those are all the way down on the bottom. I'm gonna scoot that over. I'm gonna shift click both of those together. Let's try and rotate them first this time. Maybe that'll help keep them together. Okay, great. 45. Let's scoot that around. Oh, Control Z, Control Z. Let's move that guy actually over here. Okay. And then I'm gonna shift click both of those guys. I'm gonna rotate them. I'm gonna bring them to 45. That looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna also grab that guy. Let's rotate it to 45. I'm gonna move it around. Okay, let's move it around. And we'll put it onto those guys. Something like that should be fine. Okay, good. And then finally we'll grab our last one. Okay, over there. And I'm gonna move this up like that. Up. So it finally wants to drop the model down, I guess. So we'll unclick that for that particular part, stick it up there somewhere. And I could angle this, I guess, but I don't really need to. Well, why not? Stay consistent and rotate that around 45, moving that, moving that around something like that. Okay, cool. So yeah, that'll do just fine. Obviously this is in the Ender 3v3 SE. Let's put it to a mini. Let's put it to one of the minis. All right, so got to scoot some stuff around. And let's scoot you guys over like that. Okay, that should be fine. And then we're also gonna scoot these guys over too. Okay, great. So those are all our samples. Let's get rid of those ones that I accidentally copied another time. Cool. So we have all the geometries, all the configurations. We have 0, 90, and 45 print configurations. So yeah, you'll slice this and print it, and then we'll test them, test what we got. So thank you for watching. Uh, and yeah, see you in the next. Oh, wait. Oh no, did I get rid of that one? Oh, what happened to it? Hold on. Control Z. Control Z. Ah, that's why. It's associated with that. Ah, okay. Well, anyways, we could keep that one off to the side if that's what you have. That's what I got in my particular case. So it won't let me delete that one because then I'll get rid of one of my supports, or one of the support blockers. But yeah, we'll slice that. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Okay, cool. Looks like it's doing tree support. Oh, and I haven't messed with any of the settings that I have. So the stuff I had in these settings might not be right, but you're gonna use the lab documentation as well as the announcement I make that shows you what your infill and wall thicknesses should be, because it will be very specific as to what you'll need to do for that. So I'm not going to talk about infill and stuff like that because that's all very bespoke per student group. Okay, and if we look down, yep, that's 100% infill, and then it gets to be sparse, and then you can see the one on the bottom there. See how the middle has sparse infill, and then the ends are solid. It's exactly what we want. Okay, so now I will stop sharing and call that good on the video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.